time. Month of monster time. Woo!
I had to find that privacy.
Put your light on.
My what?
Your light's not even on.
My light.
Your
Oh,
ring
my
light.
light.
You need good
You
light to be a monster in this day and age. There we go.
Oh, I wish I could make it green or something.
Spooky. You can make it slightly more orange. Hardly.
Yeah, but I can't reach the stupid thing. It's a disaster. This is the best mask I've ever owned in my entire life. Okay, but it's really annoying now. Okay.
Can't even get this thing off.
These are so uncomfortable. They're actually not that uncomfortable.
Mine, I was telling you earlier, that mask is so cool looking but when you put it on,
I know, it's awful.
it presses against your eyelashes, which is the most unnatural feeling.
Which means I can't wear it at all because I always have mascara on, so it's always brushing up against the plastic. It's very annoying.
I'm gonna give it to Wanta.
Give it to Wanta. He's gonna hate it. Aww. Yeah, that looks great.
All right. What's up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome to episode 1 of the Attack Peter Month of Monsters. Spooky.
I wish we had like a soundboard that had the ghost sound on it.
Oh yeah, we should get a soundboard.
We really should.
We gotta get one of those. But we do have.
We're getting too spooky on this chat right now. Okay.
Oh, what's going on in the chat?
No, chat's good. Colt is here. Hey,
Yo, Colt.
Evan Morrison, William
Evan
Dawson,
Morrison.
Chelsea Birchfield, Second Street Marvel, which is an
Oh,
awesome
Trinity,
name.
What up?
Christopher Alarcon, what's up?
Yo.
Aaron Tapkin, Beck McGrew, Sarah Lindsay, too spoopy for you. James Hobson. Let's see. ASU Footy. Yo, I don't know who you are, but I like that name.
He's always in Ace of Footy. I never knew if it was ASU Footy, which could be like Arizona State. Or if it's just Ace of Footy. T-Bone's gonna pee. One time.
What?
I don't know. He was looking at the door weird.
He just wants to get the...
Alright, so, guys, thanks so much for coming. This is gonna be an awesome month with so much crazy stuff planned. Right off the bat, before we go any further, if you're visiting, if this is your first time here, see if you're subscribed, because if you're not, that would be awesome. Subscribe. The other thing is, I don't know if we crossed 25,000 followers on Instagram yet, but I think we're about to. So when that happens, somebody has to let me know, because we're going to do something fun. I would say that would be super awesome if we can cross that during the stream. I think it was like 8 left. Like 8 or 6 or 8 followers, because then we can do something fun right during the stream. Now, before we get into business, I want to heighten the Halloween mood real quick. Gabby, you set up your Halloween altar. It looks great, but you're going to need more room in a second. Because...
Oh, that's right.
Check this out, guys.
Can you guys see that? Down, so
but I could let you slip by if you give me some candy.
Is that amazing? Oh,
he has a lot to say.
But after a few blocks, my feet are really dragging.
how amazing is this? Oh,
He's gonna keep going. He's not gonna shut up.
This guy is so awesome, dude. Gabby and I go to Target now every year, so it's like.
You can tell by the sweatshirt, which is Target, and all of these things on my altar, which are Target.
Halloween at Target has been awesome 3 years in a row. Last year was a little soft, but 2 years ago was lit AF, and this year it's triple lit AF. And look at what they had, dude. This is the sickest tombstone ever. So I'm gonna pass it over to Gabby for her altar.
Hold on, let me take off my headphones so I don't die on the way over.
You should move the pumpkin back to where it is.
I will. I'm gonna move the pumpkin.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move everybody forward.
All right.
He's gonna go here.
Now, you can rest it on top of the mask. Oh no, that's cool if it works. Will it stay?
With the little candle and everything
Oh,
next
look at
to
that.
it. Look, I just made a
You're
freaking
super Halloween
graveyard.
fest.
I said I have Halloween coursing through my veins, guys.
We have to work extra hard. Yeah, we have to work
Decorate
extra
like
hard for Halloween in Miami because there's like no seasons.
Yeah,
in
it's
Miami.
just like summer and then less summer and then
Yeah.
summer again.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no
All right.
winter.
So, guys, we have so much cool stuff to talk about and to do, and I don't even know where to begin. I do know where to begin. We actually have some business. Kill the music for a second. We have to get serious for a
Kill it
second.
all the way?
100%.
No spooky vibes?
No.
How so?
I'm going to tell you why.
Okay, all right. Stop.
Recently, I believe this conversation took place on an episode of Dropcast. I did, this came out Wednesday. Really great conversation with Tom Dizzy. It's a cool podcast, video conversation podcast that talks about movie posters, like Mondo posters, Bottleneck Gallery. So if you're a collector of that stuff, and I know a lot of you guys are, he does a great show where he analyzes the prints that have dropped that week. He interviews different artists, yada, yada, yada. I think on that stream, in a friendly fashion, so don't go sending any hate mail. Tom is a wonderful person. He brought up the existence. So we were reviewing the latest Takaro print. By the way, you guys should check out that stream, that video. We did a lot of great conversation about Takaro and that print in general, and it was cool stuff. But he brought up the existence of a character named Takora with an A. As if I didn't know that Takora existed. And I don't think he was trying to trap me. It wasn't like, what do they call that type of journalism when they spring something on you?
What is it? Say it again?
Like when you're a reporter and you... Oh, gotcha journalism. He wasn't doing gotcha journalism.
Gotcha!
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't trying to do that. But we got into the conversation of Takora. And if you guys don't know, when I was coming up with Takaro, by the way, I just got my Takaro sticker in the mail. I'm waiting for my shirts. Jealous of Raph, who got his shirt already. It looks awesome on him. When I was coming up with Takaro, we're looking for names for the character. And I said, well, I'm going to name them the same way like all my favorite Japanese monsters are named. So Gojira, Gamera, Ghidorah, all that stuff. And it's like, if you break down those names, it's like, you know, a Japanese translation of an animal. Like Gojira is actually from Kujira, which is Kuji, I think, is a whale in Japanese, if I'm not mistaken.
I have no clue.
I don't remember exactly, don't quote me, but the point is like an animal, an RA. And so I looked up octopus. Octopus in Japanese is taco, and I put RA, and I go, oh, let me Google this. This is cool, Takara. I Google it, and let me show you what I found.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
What the hell is this crap? Okay? This is what comes up when you search Takara. What the hell is this crap? Do you think I was going to be intimidated or turned off by or threatened by this nerd? Okay?
Oh,
now, what's crazy... Hold on.
He definitely likes math.
I don't know what he likes. He looks... Meth? Meth, I believe. That expression. So here's the thing. Takara is an old Japanese creation. I think he's Toho, actually, believe it or not. And it's like a kid's show type thing that was like loosely connected to Godzilla in that world, but not like in any movies or anything. But Takora with an A at the end. I saw all this. I wasn't surprised.
Greg, you've got to let me talk about the chat, because
What are they
don't
saying?
let the chat interject.
What are they saying?
Greg B says that's Japanese Barney.
Bro, it's terrifying on an equal level. Yeah. Now, what's crazy is, so I saw this and I go, oh, you know, I don't really think there's a large registered fan base for Takara that I should be worried about. I'm going to just go A/O Takaro. And there you go. What does it mean? Who cares? It just sounds cool. And I'm not going to wuss out for fear of this nerd. Look at the other picture.
ASU Footy says that's what you see when you have sleep paralysis.
Dude, I have sleep paralysis sometimes, and you're
Do
not
you
kidding.
see that?
You know, huh?
I know, I'm saying, I know you have sleep paralysis. I'm asking, do you see that when you have one of your episodes?
Not literally that, but maybe now.
Close.
Look at this.
Is he shot in the chest?
He's got
why
bullets.
does it look...
What's happening here, you don't understand, is that he lives in a really rough part of town, and he took a bullet to the chest, and his friends found him on the street and are like walking him home
They're like
carefully.
trying to walk him to the ER.
Yeah.
Poor guy. Let's see what else.
And look at this. This is
Why,
like
is
he's
he running for
apologizing for the horror he causes children.
Is that a translator on the top?
I know, right?
Like translating for whatever gargled language he's saying.
I don't know, man.
Oy.
But look. It's a bizarre design, but it's also old, so it gets that pass.
Old.
But
what year did we find out? What year this is from, more or less?
60s, something.
It looks like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, here's what I'm saying. I'm not scared of Takara. Okay. I'm not threatened by Takara. Okay. In fact, in that same scene, I think I had another picture of a more badass octopus. Okay, so the same scene thing with Takara. Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, Takaro. Okay. Not that you needed to be reminded. Is way more badass than Takara. Yeah. Okay. Takaro. You guys never seen this, or maybe you've seen it in streams. This was a Bear Walker test sample piece of Takaro. Maybe we should put this out sometime.
We should.
Okay. Just wanted to get that off my chest. Okay. There might be more scandals dealing with old octopus-related creatures from Japan stuff, but not for now. All right, let's move on.
Okay.
Month of Monsters, music back, music back.
Wait. Before we go to Month of Monsters, because I feel like we've just skimmed right over this, and it's been in the chat, and even poor Ian has been texting me.
What?
We have to celebrate because you hit 25K on Instagram.
Woo!
Where's my
music, bro?
Where's the? Oh, hold on.
There you go.
Let's see if it comes up. Hold on, it's gonna be real hot in a second. If there's a delay, relax. There's a little bit.
I told you music.
Well, you
pump it.
I pumped it already.
Pump it.
Here we go. It's gonna get really loud in a second. Everyone's gonna hate us.
25K. There we go. 25.
It's about to get louder. It's gonna be like Haunted Mansion style. We're gonna be like, look at it.
Yeah.
Even.
I smell really bad, yo.
Oh my god, he smells so bad. Poor guy. Okay,
awesome. All right, so guys, I know you've been following for a while. Thank you so much, but it's such an awesome moment because I'm not somebody who gets too carried away with numbers like that. You killed the music all the way? No, but put a little bit.
I did. It's just
no, it's gone.
To control it here.
It's so awesome to think how much this channel has grown. I mean, a few years ago, I remember sitting with Gabby when I had like 1,000-something followers on Instagram saying, man.
2016.
Yeah, 2016. Maybe we'll cross.
We sat down and you said, wow, one day.
Yeah, maybe we'll cross 2,000 followers if we really play our cards right. And so it's just a testament to how much the brand has grown, to how much like people have been enjoying everything we're doing. And it's so awesome and to be able to grow with all of you and to recognize your names from week to week. And so I just want to thank you so much. And what we're going to do is a little treat. I was going to drop some new merch in the shop today, but we're going to drop it with an immediate 25% discount whenever I have that.
What did you turn into?
25% off discount. So we have a link we're going to put in the chat. We forgot to set up our web store link. Do we have it in the web scene?
It's in the description.
Yeah, but for us to show it.
Oh, no.
You have to open it in the browser.
All right, hold on.
Okay, Gabby's gonna set that, but we're gonna if you guys want, there's already a link in the
Yeah, there's a description.
If you want to go,
link in the description.
we dropped a whole new line of merch. We got new shirts, stickers, and our first ever tote bag. Featuring the dragon head design that we released as a print recently. So something fresh, new.
Let me go to the web browser. Let me just see if it works.
Yeah.
I apologize if
I can still talk. There you go.
It's not set up at all.
Well, you can just set up a new scene that has just a web browser on it. Okay. I think it's there, just off the Aya.
No.
That's
the privacy curtain.
All right, just pop in a new window real quick on that same scene. And show off. So yeah, we're dropping new shirts, new stickers, but the whole shop, the whole Attack Peter merch shop is 25% off for the next 24 hours, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Skybound friends. You found it? It's a little window capture. Mm-hmm. Yep. And then just create new.
Mhm.
And then when you do that, it'll give you the option drop down. We went black now because it's a haunted house.
Yeah,
And it'll say, there you go. Boom. All right.
Here we
Show
go.
them. So new stickers, new shirts in different colors. We have black shirts, white shirts, these light blue shirts, courtesy of Paul Shin from Skybound. He insisted that we bring in the light blue pastels for fall. The seasonal autumnal fall colors
Whoever knew.
of sky blue.
Not I.
Awesome, Paul Shin. But look at the tote bag. That thing is cool. Go back.
This scene is so large. Guys, you guys are watching all of our follies online.
That's fine. It's perfect. Just
Live.
right there, B.
I know. Relax. Okay, here we go.
So, there, go to the tote bag. Scroll down.
Oh yeah.
There
I
you
need
go,
this
right
tote
there.
bag in my life.
Cloak it. There you go.
Did you say cloak it or click
No,
it?
click. Go. Check that out. It looks so cool.
I know.
Shout out to Eric from Skybound who put this all together for us, and Locke, who's running the shop right now. And yeah, so everything in the shop, all these new items with the dragon head, all the Takaro stuff. If you missed the shirts last week, or if you want to grab stickers or hats, 25% off. I think the code is AP25K. The discount code. If not, correct me if I'm wrong, Ian, and throw it in the chat.
Ian, please.
Yeah,
Let us know.
but I'm pretty sure it's AP25K as a discount code, and everything's 25% off. So that's super cool. The old Warhog shirts, if you ever got one or you wanted one, everything.
And now's the time.
Yep.
Use that code. Pick
Yep.
up any merch that you haven't yet. Those
That's it.
hats are awesome. Stickers are awesome. I love this
Yeah.
dragon so much.
It looks great. All right,
Mhm.
cool. So let's move on with our festivities.
Yes,
Thank you,
please.
guys. All right. So month of monsters, technically starts in October, but we're gonna get started now, because we're gonna be doing something different. We're gonna be special. With your guys' help, we're gonna be picking some designs, starting to work on them, and by next week, you're gonna see the finished reveal. And then next week, after I unveil the finished image, then we're gonna pick a next one, start working it, and we're gonna do that 4 times to drop 4 different monsters for you guys. It's gonna be awesome. So, but before we do that, let's talk about monsters. So go to my monster scene. My monster. Yes. Okay. So, you know, these are, and we have spooky music.
I have
barely
spooky music,
hear
but you
any.
told me to turn it down.
I know, but now it's spooky
Okay,
time.
Hold on. I'm gonna turn
There
up
you
a
go.
little bit.
Yeah, you're good.
Don't get too excited.
That's it. All right. So, gang, monsters. We put up a poll in the Facebook group, Attack Peter Print Crew, but I just wanted to celebrate how great these monsters are and talk about these archetypes quickly before we get into what we're doing. So, you know, these are the most famous and classic monsters from the Universal line, but they also kind of represent the archetypes. So Frankenstein, Frankenstein's monster from the film Frankenstein is like everyone's favorite in the chat, it seemed, or in the poll. I love this design so much, but it's so universal. You can't do a flat head Frankenstein without channeling this particular film. And so it's amazing, it's iconic, and I love this archetype of like the homunculus, you know, the man-made creature, I don't know, homunculus, golem type. So this is one of my favorite. I think a lot of you guys agree. What's chat saying?
Chat hasn't really. I don't think
Chat fell asleep.
cares.
All right, let's go to the next one.
Chat doesn't care.
Everyone's shopping, maybe. All right, let's go to the next
sorry,
one.
It kind of froze, but
Okay.
yes.
Let's go to the next
next one.
monster.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No? Well,
Of course, everything breaks down the day that we want to do this. Hold on.
do we have it?
Hold on. Give me a second, and we'll move on. What's the next monster we want to talk about, by the way?
The next one that was in the slide was the creature
Creature?
head, and
I'm drinking from a creature thing right now.
Yeah.
It's not working for some reason.
do we have this the photo separately? You can change it to
Hold on.
just change the setting. There we go.
There it
So we got the
is.
Invisible Man. That's another universal archetype. I love this design so much. I don't know how you really redesigned the Invisible Man without losing some of the coolest stuff, but I do love it. What's
Mhm.
next? We're not getting it. the
There
creature
he
from the
is.
Black Lagoon. So
Creature.
like the iconic take on a fishman, gillman, sometimes referred to. This is my favorite. Anything sea monster is my
Oh,
favorite.
Evan Morrison wants to know what's the Attack Peter must-watch monster movie list. I think we should make that.
Oh, that's a good one. That's
Like
a good
put
one.
together a compilation.
Yeah,
of our
we'll definitely do
favorites.
that. Well,
Yeah,
we
I
all
agree.
need to get in on that and come up with a group
I think
one,
that
a print crew
I
list.
feel like that should be a community thing. Like
Yeah.
we should put out ours.
Yeah.
You know what we really love
Yeah.
to watch, but then the community needs to
Yeah.
chime in.
All right, so the
write
next
them.
one is the Wolfman. So werewolves in general. It's a great archetype that we could be talking about in a few minutes. I love this guy. I love this design. Super iconic.
Who created that? Oh, we're gonna talk about it in a second, aren't we?
What?
Who created the makeup for? I know that Wolfman was like a very famous.
I forget the name of the
yeah.
artist right now. I'm sure maybe the chat will let us know. I
Tom-
forget.
no, I don't know. Yeah, chat,
Yeah, it's a
do you
super
know
famous-
Who
oh,
the,
I don't think it's- It's not Dick Smith. It's before Dick Smith. I forget. It's on tip of it.
Really?
Yeah, it's before
Is
that.
it
All right, let's
Lon
go to the
Chaney?
next one. You got the vampire, so Dracula in this case. The Boris Karloff portrayal, so like legendary and historic at this point. That's the thing. These Universal monster interpretations, the Universal Studios interpretation of these monsters are so iconic that when you're designing something original, you have to like force yourself to separate from these, or else you're just doing fan art of the same designs. We have the next one. Oh yeah, and so zombies in general. How could I not bring up a zombie being here at Skybound? So I was looking up the zombies from my favorite zombie movie of all time, which is Day of the Dead, Giorgio Romero's Day of the Dead. And I love Bub. I think he's in the presentation. Hit one.
Oh, by the way,
Forward.
they said Jack Pierce is the guy. Who
Jack
played,
Pierce. Thank you, chat. That is it.
Yeah, thank you.
Hit the next slide, B. So this is Bub from Day of the Dead. And I love this so much. If you're a fan of zombie movies or horror movies or just fun stuff, Day of the Dead was so crazy as a kid watching this film. I can't believe that we ever got to a point where Walking Dead was like as intense or more and was on cable TV for anyone to see. But go back one to look at the makeup advancements on zombies. This is so amazing. This zombie from the show Walking Dead, Greg Nicotero, and that whole team's insane, man. I love this so much. They nailed it. I love the eroded lip. Just makes them look
really,
meaner and tougher.
disconcerting, right?
Yeah. All right. And then I think we have one more Universal monster. The Mummy. Ian's favorite. Ian Start in the chat's favorite monster, I think, if I'm not mistaken, is the Mummy. And I love this one. But for me, the best look of the Mummy is wrapped in bandages. Once he goes into like the Fez and Egyptian style, it's cool. It's fine. It's just not, to me, it's not as cool. You gotta have the bandages. I'm all about the bandages. All right. So then, you know, since we're gonna be making art based on these monsters, I wanted to, before we move on, quickly pay homage to some of the greatest monster artists. We have another group of photos. You want to go to that?
Yeah.
Yep. So Bernie Wrightson's Frankenstein is one of the greatest interpretations of a monster ever. That book is incredible. If you've never seen it, and if you're a fan of monsters and killer art, Bernie Wrightson's Frankenstein is next level, dude. It's outrageous detail, line work. It's too good. Too good. Let's go. Had to do the auto switch.
Why did it work once and not ever again?
I'll just have everybody know that before the stream went live, Gabby was berating me, telling me how much better the auto
that's my
controls of the
job.
photos.
Well, because
were
we didn't
so
want this
much better.
automatic. Look, listen to
And
me, God damn it.
I wish I could turn the
There
camera.
it is.
There we
There it is.
go.
There it is. Shut up.
It just
There
takes 17 clicks to make the photo go.
This
So
program's
my
so-
favorite artist of all time, you know, I was gonna have him in this list, is Mike Mignola, and to me, nobody does horror art better. There are more famous horror artists, but for my taste, Mike Mignola is the best. So I have a few of his images in here, and I have my Hellboys here ready for good luck, for inspiration.
What is this?
But look
This
at this. This
him,
is a
right?
Mike
Or is this a
Mignola
self-portrait?
watercolor painting. Just some, you know, original weird horror images. But it's, again, like the way he simplifies the shapes to their basic and needed elements. The lines are simple. He doesn't do Like Bernie Wrightson and Mignola are the opposite, right? So like Bernie Wrightson is doing tons of little detail and texture, and Mike Mignola is doing as little as he needs to communicate, but he just as well, if not, in my opinion, better communicates atmosphere, right? The figures dissolve into the background. You know, the black of the background fades up into the feet, into the hands, and the shadows are just incredible. That little touch of red just pops out. And keep going. Yeah, look at that. Just so good. So Basil Gogos. So I'm not sure if it's Basil or Basil Gogos, but it's Basil. Probably the most famous monster artist of all time. You guys probably know, have probably seen, if you ever checked out Famous Monsters of Filmland magazine that came out late 50s and popular in the 60s. These interpretations of these monsters were so important because back then, you know, there was no internet. You can just go and get great pictures of your favorite monsters, and so Gogos was doing these incredible paintings, and they were like intrinsically linked with this magazine, and it was just the color, the intensity, the contrast, and the energy of these pieces are almost as iconic as the films themselves. So they're like, you can't separate Basil Gogos' paintings with these films. So I have a few of them in here if you want to slide through. Yep, Phantom of the Opera. The Abominable Dr. Fives. Super underrated movie and super underrated design. So creepy, man. I love that. Scott Morse, totally different take on a Frankenstein. So like really changing up the shapes. He's another one of my favorite artists of all time. Again, because he takes something that's super well known and makes it completely different, which to me is the mark of a great artist. And some more Mignola here. I had an order to these things, but OBS had plans. Jack Davis. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Jack Davis, one of the greatest artists of all time, but specifically famous for the Tales of the Crypt comics, EC comics, and doing this before a lot of people ever did, inspiring a ton of people. But look at that design, the expression, the pose, just an amazing composition. Jack Davis is amazing. If you don't know his work, check it out. And the creature from Basil Gogos. All right. I think that's it. Good.
I think that's it.
All right, folks. So I'm going to switch things up here. Gabby's going to take us to iPad cam. Let's see how this works. Huh, not
There it
bad.
is.
Okay. So, here, gang, I'm going to show you some things here. Let me bring this up. And I'm going to need feedback. So Gabby's watching the chat. Even though you don't see the chat on the screen, Gabby has the chat open. She's going to be watching it real closely. These are some sketches I started doing to get my brain going on what you guys and I can start thinking about for print designs. I wanted to do these big monster heads as prints and potentially, you know, mimic those retro Halloween masks that people buy to hang on their walls. You know, do something like that, but as a print, like it's just a big monster head. And maybe add some neck and shoulders and some details, but focus really on the design of the head tonight. So I did some. I want your opinions, okay? I'm going to go through them. First, I'm going to show you all of them, and I want you guys to tell me who we should start with tonight, okay? I got a take on the Fishman, right? On the Gillman. A take on that, right? A take on Frankenstein's monster. Right? A take on a vampire. I didn't want to do a Boris Karloff style Dracula vampire because I feel like it's so done. You know what I mean? We might do something to like link it back, but I really like the Nosferatu style vampire, so I went that way a little bit. And then I had a sketch of a Wolfman type design. I was starting to mess around with a mummy here, but I didn't get to it yet. But first things first. Is there a monster? Like a zombie or a demon in general, like a devil? You know, is there something like that that's not here that you guys want to see more than all of these? Or let me ask the
Brian-
question a different way.
Sorry, go ahead.
Is there something here that you guys are like, let's start with that? So let me know in the chat what you guys think. If there's something here you want to start with, just call it off. We're gonna get to everything. We're gonna do everything, not all tonight, but we're gonna get all these Month of Monsters, and we're gonna get them all done, carved up, all that stuff. But let's start with one and review it together and see what you guys think. What are we getting?
Well, Brian Ewing says there clearly needs to be a maple leaf.
A maple leaf? The hell is that?
We were talking in the chat earlier about using a maple leaf to show that you actually experience seasons where you live. So now we need an evil maple leaf. No, I'll tell you right now what it's saying. We got a lot of Fishman.
Yeah.
A lot of Fishman. Some Frankenstein in there.
Yeah.
Oh, the ASU footy says the incarnation of death.
Oh, like a
So
Grim
like a
Reaper
Grim
type?
Reaper? Is that what you're talking
Yeah,
about?
that could be cool.
Potentially. Let's see. Maybe something Lovecraftian.
Yeah, I always think of the creature as like a Lovecraft.
Chupacabra.
I
Chupacabra
like that.
is kind of weird. in
Yeah.
fact. Oh, an evil knight. To go with our new Halloween
Oh.
decoration. Let's
is
see.
cool.
Hold
Oh,
on.
you know
Let me
what, like
keep
a
giving you some
knight-
ideas. Hold on. Something female. You don't have a female in there. That's true.
Okay.
Come on, 2020. Get it together. Let's see.
Well, it's not very cool that you guys assumed that that vampire was not female. I'm gonna say maybe you shouldn't be like
I agree. It could be a female.
so narrow-minded.
Headless Horseman.
Sick.
Medusa. Or a bride. Bride of
Medusa would be
Frankenstein.
sick.
Ooh, a plant monster like Audrey.
Yes,
Audrey
that'd be
too.
cool.
A witch is a good idea too. You
I
have
have
a
a
witch,
witch.
though. You have a witch.
Oh, that reminds me. Maybe we can bring that witch out.
Oh well, you can go find it. I don't know
Not right
where
now,
it
but like
is.
for the.
Some kind of female monster. I agree with Stephanie
Okay.
Thomas. A female monster.
Okay.
A Gorgon. Wait, is a Gorgon? Is that what Medusa is?
Yeah, a Gorgon's like Medusa.
Okay.
All right, so I heard a lot of creatures, so let's focus on the creature today. Hey, one second, chill out. Let's focus on the creature today. This design, right? If you think about the original creature design, I try to keep some things similar, so it like feels like it's in the same world as that creature, but I try to do some things differently. So, for example, let's see here.
Todd Reiner says wonton.
Dude, seriously, he's a
Maybe
freaking
wonton
monster
needs-
today.
He really does look like a little monster.
All right, so like here, I changed up this right here. So in the real creature, does not have any scales on the head there, and I'm like, oh, that's easy. I love using scales as a pattern, as texture. It looks good as a block print. It makes sense with fish, and the original one doesn't have it. That's a change, right? And then something similar is this general head shape, right? But then I'm like, okay, so what's different that I can do here? How about these like catfish style whiskers? I thought that could be cool, and it changes it up, right? So things like that I thought were cool, but curious to hear what you guys have to say, like what you think. Like, do you dig the eyes? Is there something that we should be doing different? I was considering a different look on the eyes, and I'm going to show you what I meant by that. But while I'm doing that, feel free to let me know in the chat if you guys have any thoughts on what you would do differently. Let's see here.
Somebody put in that at some point you need to make a Baba Yaga with a chicken foot house, and I think that's a great idea.
I love Baba Yaga.
I freaking love Baba Yaga. Stephanie Thomas says that she's digging his Fu Manchu, which I agree.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great one. I think you should make that more prominent.
Yeah. I love catfish as a design. Like, I think that's a really well-designed animal.
Mm-hmm.
And,
a little more exaggeration on the points. So, for example, bigger gills, like more exaggerated gills. That was from Jan FITC. And ASU Footy agrees. Anything exaggerated is usually the right way to go. Christopher Alarcone says, I think the shape is great. The mustache gives it an anthropomorphic vibe.
Is that cool?
Like he's a pirate.
Ah.
I actually like a lot now that you mentioned pirate.
Yeah.
Maybe he needs an eye patch? Maybe not. Oh, catfish whiskers.
Right. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, me too.
I mean,
Although I like the
obviously it
idea-
does anthropomorphize him, but
No, of course.
it's like it does two things at once, which is like a great when you're designing something. If you can kill two birds with one stone, that's like when you watch Pirates of the Caribbean and the
Right.
octopus tentacles also work like mustache.
Oh, what was it? What was the name of that? No, that's not Davy Jones.
Davy Jones.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, so his
Alright.
tentacles worked as a beard and mustache combo.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So one thing I was thinking is like having eyes that were not symmetrical, which usually I like symmetry. It reminds me of a mask. It reminds me of an old school like retro mask. So like if I'm hold on. So you can see, right? So that's symmetrical. But if I don't go with symmetry and I instead go with something more natural looking, like naturally people aren't perfectly symmetrical or animals or anything. So if you and expressions can change, you know, the symmetry as well. So we could like lower one of the eyebrows, right?
Oh, that looks cool.
Right? And then I gotta be careful because I like things that to some people look goofy, but I like that. Like for example, I like the idea that one of his eyes is looking out that way, right? But I don't know if people would take that as cool or like dorky. So
Oh, I see what you're saying. What if it's looking dead at you? Isn't that creepier when it's looking
well, yeah,
dead
that's
at
what I'm
you?
saying. Like, and that's what I want to know with the chat. Like, what are you guys
Well,
digging?
William Dawson says he
What up, Will?
kind of liked the dead shark eyes.
Oh, like all black?
I guess so.
That could be cool. I did that like this. See, that was a Gabby's suggestion actually on the
Yeah.
vampire, those dead animal eyes. I do like that. Sometimes I'm hesitant to do like too much black or too much white in one little area, because when you turn that into a print, you miss out on opportunities for some of that fun line and patterning. But there's always a way to do it. Like everything can be done in a cool way.
Let me see. It looks like okay. Kurt Galk says add a hook to his mouth from an unfortunate
Oh.
fisherman for a pissed off gill man.
That's why we do this.
This is why we do this. That's a
That's why we
great
do
idea.
this. So that's a great idea. Okay,
Yeah.
so
he
like,
said, oh, Todd Rayner, by the way, Todd Raymer with an M.
Yeah.
Says
what's up, Todd?
that the eye off to the side makes him look demented, which is a good thing.
Okay, that's good to know. I like that. So
One
maybe
of
I can defend it
your
that
former
way.
students is here asking us.
Who?
Amari.
Amari, he's a great artist too. He's working
Amari
on it.
says, I think what you should do is tell us your secrets. No.
I wish I had secrets. I have none.
Oh, Victor Mares says if you're going for masks, having them looking at you makes more sense.
I'm not gonna make them into a mask per se, but I'm thinking like that. You know what I mean? The truth is though, I mean that's what gave me the idea. But the truth is, I do think we'll have some space on the design to add a little bit of neck and shoulder line like this. So it won't be like full on mask, and then we can like instead of just ending it randomly like that, we can do things like incorporate something nautical, like what could be cool is like a seaweed thing, but I don't want it to look too much like the whiskers. But you could have like a seaweed plant growing around it, like if it was. Another thing that you guys may have heard me talk about that I look at is like tattoo art. And so when they're doing portraits for tattoos, they kind of use creative ways to just end the image. They don't just randomly end it.
There's usually like a frame around it.
Like a little frame. And then the frame can be created with something that pertains to the character
like
or the person.
tentacles or...
Oh, yeah. That's a great idea. So like a
Oh,
tentacle.
hold on. The chat is lit up. You gotta let them talk.
Tell me.
Okay, let's see. A couple of things here. Squinty eyes. He's got a mean mouth. How about mean eyes?
Okay.
I guess both of them could be squinted or one of them could be squinted.
It could be both, man. So like...
Mr. Half Ninja says, give him one of those hypnolights coming off his head like the fish from the super deep. I think you're talking about.
Oh, like
I think about them as the football fish, but that's Animal Crossing speak.
Bro,
I don't know.
anglerfish.
Anglerfish. There you go.
football fish.
Listen, I play a lot of Animal Crossing.
That's actually like a pretty cool idea.
Evan Morrison wants to know what program you're using.
Oh, this is Procreate. It's an amazing program on the iPad. It's $10, and this is something that would have cost hundreds, if not thousands of dollars just 10 years ago, 11, 12 years ago. I remember buying Illustrator for my computer in like 2008, 9, and it was $600. I'm like, oh, I better buy the full program because they're gonna get rid of Illustrator, and you're gonna only be able to pay for the cloud. Stupid. But yeah, this program's incredible. And then I have to say, the Apple Pencil is phenomenal. It is worth the hype.
And tell them about the screen protector that you have on that makes it.
So yeah, so when people draw with this on the iPad, sometimes they're like, it's too glossy, it doesn't feel good, like it doesn't have that tooth that paper has. I bought this screen protector called Paperlike. It's a company called Paperlike, and it's matte, and it feels...
It's got a grit to it.
A little bit of a grit to it, some tooth to it, and it just kind of feels better when you're drawing. It's so bizarre. I never think about a screen anymore. I'm just drawing. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's really nice. Even for people like me who don't draw, I have it on my iPad, and it just feels nicer even on my finger, like when I'm using... Anyway.
Yeah, and it's less glare, too.
It is a lot less glare.
What do you guys think about using different types of pupils? So one of the things I didn't do on the other one, and I was considering doing here, is like more like an octopus eye. They're like horizontal like this. And I'm not sure. Like that's a big choice because it changes the character altogether. You could get that squinted look, like the pissed off squinted look, right? We can adjust these eyebrows later on. But it also harks back to what an octopus eye looks like. That's similar to a sheep eye too. It's funny.
But why are we making him like an octopus?
No, I'm saying it's an option. Like you can use an element from another underwater animal and change the design altogether. Whenever I'm designing, you know, something that has been done a million times by great artists a million times, it's hard, and it's part of your job to figure out a way to make it familiar and fresh. That's what's hard. So
me personally, I'm not a fan of the like two squinty eyes. It looks like he's like. Okay, a couple more things from chat. John R. Price says he's old Greg's distant relative, and thank you so much for dropping that reference because I love you. If you don't know about that, you need to get on top of it.
What's that show called again?
Huh?
What's that show?
The Mighty Boosh.
The Mighty Boosh.
Wasted Angel says, do we need Baileys in a shoe too? In addition to the hooks? Maybe. Oh, your mom is in the chat. Hey, Sam.
Hey, Mom.
Let's see.
Nobody curse when my mom's in the chat.
Please don't curse because mom is in the chat. Okay, jellyfish membrane. That's not a bad idea.
Well, yeah,
like some kind of a... Oh, you know what? Somebody said in the chat that we should add... Oh my god, let me see if I can find it. Dang, I can't. Having like a collar of like fish hooks or something.
I definitely think we need to do the fish hooks. I'm thinking like in the lip it might get too crowded.
Yeah, but if you put them in the collar, that would be pretty cool too. Necklace of hooks, Beck McGrew. Very good idea. I like that. Although I do like kind of like the weird like translucent jellyfish membrane, like like gross. Okay. Let's see. The fisherman caught his eye to make it look off to the side, so maybe add a scar on one of the eyelids. That's James Hobson.
That's a good idea too.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking, and then I thought this could go well or terribly, is if you put the hook like right here, but I'm like, it looks so early 2000s eyebrow piercing.
It's 100% a new metal eyebrow ring, which, by the way, if you ever meet Peter, you'll see that new metal eyebrow ring scar.
Yeah, I used to have one.
Super new metal. Darren Starr says that Isabel says, what about...
Oh, what's up, Isabel?
What about... Oh, he's saying anglerfish as well.
Yeah, I do like that idea.
Already in the chat. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Wondering. He's not really an anglerfish.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be an anglerfish. The whole idea is that you're taking different elements from different underwater animals to kind of like create something new.
Yeah. Oh, Colt wants to know if the brush that you're using right now is the one that you typically use because the detail is popping more than
Yeah,
usual.
usually, well, when I'm doing digital stuff, I'll use different brushes, but I tend to use this one called Dry Ink. Let me see if I can show you. Dry Ink on the blue. And I think it was a brush pack I picked up from someone somewhere, but it comes with so many good brushes already. You don't really need to. Do you guys like this idea of a beard with these little tentacle things?
Let's see. Well, you're gonna have to wait a second.
Or is that too much facial hair via tentacles?
Everybody seems to be saying scar, so I think you might have to
Yeah, we could do a
put
scar.
a scar in there.
You know,
Let's
like
see.
coming down here.
Yeah, definitely. Somehow a scar
Yeah.
through the brow, maybe.
Yeah, we're doing it right now.
Oh, Aaron Tapkin says,
What's up, Aaron?
aperture style eyes.
What did she say?
Aperture, like camera aperture.
Oh yeah. That's a cool thing. So that would be. Would that just be concentric circles, or was she thinking more about doing something like
Aperture
this?
would be like with those like heck. Help me out here, guys. Those diagonal lines going through
like that.
Yeah, maybe like that. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see what she says. Who said that, by the way? I forgot already.
Aaron Tapkin, you say?
Aaron Tapkin. Oh, somebody says seaweed. Incorporates seaweed somehow.
Well, that's what I was thinking around the collar here to frame it. So like we could have. What was
Your
that?
brother, dude.
What do you say?
Make him the creature from the Black Sea, mutated in a Soviet nuclear submarine accent. Aaron Tompkins has like a camera lens.
Yeah.
So it has that weird...
Pull
like,
it up on tab so I can look at it.
I know exactly what she's talking
I know,
about.
but I don't, so...
Hold on. Oh, I know. Camera lens. What do I put? Camera lens? No, I don't think that's what she's talking about. Aperture. Okay, yeah, that's what I was imagining.
By the way, how good is this playlist Gabby put together before the stream?
Look, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, yeah. That's
or
kind
like
of what I
this
had.
one.
That's kind of similar.
Yeah, it's similar.
Yeah.
It's similar. Unless you want it more squinty, Aaron, like with a closed aperture that has like very little light coming in. Maybe that's what you're talking about.
This looks like be kind of like that too. Would be creepy. You gotta be. This is the time to try all these different ideas out, and then when I eventually start it, I do want to start it tonight though. Do you think we have something that we can start with by now? I actually want to.
I like the scar. I'm just seeing it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have some good elements. I'm thinking that definitely can't put the hook here, by the way, but I do think that we could put the hook like in the gills somewhere. You know, like near the cheekbone here. What do you guys think about the hook?
Somebody said
here?
look up the woebegone fish.
The woebegone.
Oh yeah. Look at his little beard.
Yeah, I love that. That's what I was thinking. Something like that.
Yeah, I like that a lot actually.
Okay,
Let's see.
let's switch to the linoleum. I'm gonna show you guys how we switch and start working on it. I don't usually sketch more than this. I kind of get a general idea, right? And then I say, okay, gotta go. Why? Because deadlines, yo.
Yeah.
In fact, this month is so crazy that by the end of this month, there's gonna be so much stuff going on. I'm excited and crying at the same time on the inside because it's some of the coolest stuff I've ever done will be done this month. And you guys know about the monsters, but there's something that you don't really know yet, and then so we'll get into that a little bit more. Garima, if you're here and listening, or Ian,
It might be Ian.
or anybody, if I need to say something and I forgot to say it, let me know. Because my mind is frizzed. I was on Kaiju Live last night till like midnight almost. And we had a great time talking with AJ and Frank. I posted it in my Instagram if you guys haven't checked it out. It's a great show.
Switch that hook out of his gill and put it into his beard potentially.
Like around here?
Let's see. What if you have the hook hanging down from the beard, overlapping into
Yeah,
the seaweed?
we can do something like that. Like a lip piercing. Something that you think is cool.
Me? I don't think lip piercings are cool. Not since I was like 19.
There we go. Yeah, we can play with that as we go, but we know we have to include a hook. I think for the frame, though, definitely some seaweed stuff, or like one seaweed, one octopus tentacle, maybe. We can play with that later. And then we need something in the center, though, like, to kind of wrap it up. So let's keep thinking about that. It could be a crab. A little crab.
I like that. A little
Yeah,
crab.
right? It's a little crab.
Crab is like the spider of the sea.
Yeah.
And that very much fits in the Halloween theme.
Okay, so let's switch to linoleum. I'm gonna switch up my scene here a second.
Omnibusters is in the chat.
Yo, Omnibusters,
They
the
said-
first Takaro shirt.
Yes, they said he should have a damaged gill or one like ripped off or something.
That's a great idea. Some chunks missing. All right, let me grab my linoleum. Now, you switch to the...
You want me to switch to the art cam?
Yeah, switch to art cam.
There it is.
All right.
The resolution's a little low. I don't know if you can do
Low,
anything
let me
about
see.
that. Yeah.
Is it, or is it just
No, look.
I can't see from here, but...
Oh, yeah, it's a little low.
Nice.
It's very pixelated.
Hold on.
It might be straightening itself out now, actually.
How's that look?
Yeah, that's way better.
Perfect. All right.
Christopher Alarcon says, crab people, crab people.
Crab people, crab people. All right. So, what I do normally, I know you guys might hear me a little less loud sometimes, but it's okay. What I do normally, I'll keep my sketch close by, right? And I'll have that, visible. And then let me switch to my charger. Can you hand me the little gray charging cable that's floating around?
Yeah.
Since we're gonna be on this screen. And what I'm starting to do now, I start to actually sketch out. Beautiful. Okay. I'm gonna start to sketch out.
Oh, Garima's in the chat.
Hey, Garima.
Garima says, congratulations on the 25K.
Woohoo!
Thanks, Garima.
I'm such a weak individual. Individual.
What?
Individual. That immediately I'm like, which super famous celebrity has less than 25,000? And I'm like, you're a broken man. You're sad, sad, broken man.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Get back
Let's
to
go.
drawing monsters.
I am the monster.
Yes,
All right.
yeah.
So now I just start sketching the big shape first with this big fat Sharpie. You understand? And this is a symbol of my lack of patience, because I just want to get this design on the linoleum so that we can start moving on, right? So things that might have looked a certain way in the sketch will adjust to fit this shape a little more. Careful with him, I think he might trip a cable.
Sir.
And I'll start doing these big shapes here. I love this music because it's like part spooky Halloween music, but it also kind of reminds me of like a tavern song from Skyrim or something.
It's close. There's definitely an overlap. I was definitely looking for the overlap. You know, the other thing that I was thinking was, because I found it, was there's Halloween trap music, which I really like. And I wonder if that's what we need for episode 2 of this.
I kind of like this though.
I like this too because I love spooky Haunted Mansion vibes. And that's what this is giving me right now.
Mhm.
But really, I don't mind switching it up from episode to episode to be a little bit more intense.
Okay. Definitely for our intros that are more lit.
Oh, like when people are in the waiting room?
Oh yeah, waiting room.
Like in the waiting room, it's more trap, and then
Yeah.
when they get into the actual live feed, it's more chill.
Yeah.
More haunted circus vibe, which is what I'm getting right
Haunted
now.
circus.
That's what it feels like.
I'm getting haunted bakery.
Oh, hey, Harriman's here. What's up, Harriman?
Yo.
Yeah, Halloween trap music is big, Christopher. I fully agree. We're gonna get a good one for you, I promise.
Oh what? Good song.
Yeah. No, I mean, if we're gonna get a good playlist of Halloween trap, whatever that sounds like, we're gonna get it. There's a lot more Halloween trap music than there is
Than anybody
like
has
spooky
ever asked for.
carnival. Well, first of all, nobody asked for it, but second of all, there's more than there is like the traditional spooky trick or treat music kind of
That's because we're in end times.
James Hobson says marker on linoleum looks like it feels satisfying.
It does feel satisfying. The crazy thing is, it's so fun to draw with the marker that I sometimes don't want to tighten up. I just want to like keep drawing with the marker. And when I first started getting confidence to go out and make art publicly, one of the things that was going on in Miami was something called secret walls, which were like these giant white walls that people would just take black markers and Sharpies and go draw on them. And then it turned into like a competition, and it was cool. But I did it once. And it was so much fun. Just the idea of drawing with a Sharpie. It's like you have less inhibition. Dude, I can never talk properly with this microsecond delay in my headphones. I should do. I know. I gotta do one. Is that what you've been doing the whole time? Yeah, it's better. It's much better. But then I can't hear the music as good.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you need to vibe so hard off of Halloween music?
I did.
You can still hear it though, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
It's just really low. It's
But
okay.
it's you don't, you know, you can't draw super. I mean, you could, but you don't. The intention isn't to draw super detailed with this giant fat Sharpie, so that you don't tense up in an early stage. You're just loose. You're getting big general shapes, and it's just to map things out. Like at this point, all I'm thinking about is the big shape of the head, this big egg shape. Then this big V shape, right? That's what I'm thinking. Then there's like these two triangles on either side here. Then the eye sockets are round, so I'm generally mapping them in, looking at the distance between them in a sketch. And I'm not even like too worried with making it exactly the sketch. Usually what happens is by the time I finish the sketch, I'm in love with the sketch. And then I get to the point where I'm drawing on the linoleum and I'm like, oh, it doesn't look like the sketch anymore. I'm like, oh well. And then I finish the carving and all that, and it looks way better than the sketch. So I don't worry about that. I just make something that looks cool. This is a guide, but a loose guide. It's not law. All right, so at this point, you notice my linoleum was already spray painted. That's so when I start carving it, it'll be easier to see what has been carved and what hasn't. But the next step is to start using a white color pencil to kind of map out more detailed marks. B, can you reach right here into the drawer and grab me a white colored pencil? There should be a bajillion of them, and I think 30,000 of those sharpeners there too. Oh, beautiful! Look at that. Look at that. Careful, because sometimes that thing snaps the points. I got it.
It did absolutely nothing.
I'll take it. So yeah, I have like stacks upon stacks of white colored pencils only, and I use these to start mapping out shapes that are a little more specific. So instead of thinking about the whole thing now I'm starting to think about, you know, one area, like this little eyebrow area.
Chelsea Birchfield says, your Sharpie and white pencil technique on lino is genius. She wishes that her printmaking professors had thought to show her class that, because she gets so stuck on detail.
Yeah. You know, the thing is that, again, my technique comes from not having patience. Printmakers generally are very meticulous, and I don't like to generalize, but most of the ones I've met are, and they're careful, they plan, because you don't get any takebacks when you carve the wrong thing, you know? And a lot of the time they do the drawing separately on a piece of paper, and then they transfer it on directly onto the linoleum. I don't know, man. I'm not that prepared. I'm not that interested
can you tell
in
by
that.
how long it takes us to get this live up and running every week?
Well, that's not because of that. I've been preparing the stream since early today.
I know.
It's
But
just,
if we had been just as prepared as the people you're talking about, we would be on at 7 every time. But we're
no,
not.
I
We're
doubt
just
it.
a little,
I doubt it. it with live stream, you can prepare all you want, and then something mysteriously happens. Anyway, so, but going back to this technique was partially lack of patience, but the other part of it is, remember, I was a teacher for 13 years, and a lot of my work was done while talking to kids, showing them how to do their stuff. Like, I would do like 3 marks, stand up and go help a kid for a while, then come back and I can go do 3 little marks and go back and help. So the kids were always my first priority, and only when they knew what they were doing would I feel comfortable just getting into my work while they were working on their stuff.
There are some of your previous students.
Amari can speak to it.
Confirm.
He's doing his thing. Who?
Amari can confirm.
Yeah.
Sebastian
Mucci, yeah. What's up, dude?
Also can confirm.
Great guys. They took my class and they know. But the idea is that, so these techniques kind of come from, you know, there's a word I'm looking for, but necessity. And it's not to say it's the best technique, but it's what stuck with me, and it's the way my brain works. The other thing is, a lot of my favorite artists, you know, like Scott Morse, I always talk about, he starts so loose. At least it looks loose. He might have a full plan in his head, but it looks loose, and he gets right into it. And I thought that was, like you guys were saying, it's so free looking and flows so much. That's what I wanted to emulate in my work, in my workflow, you know. Kim Jung-ji, not that I'm ever trying to compare myself with him, but he just starts, you know. He just starts and builds this incredible work without too much of a plan, and he just kind of reacts. Like, whatever happens with the last mark dictates what's going to happen with the next mark. And I gotta be honest with you, I think part of adopting that technique has helped me last longer than some people I know who are artists, who really get caught up on little things. And then those little things that go wrong, because there's always something's going to go wrong, it derails them totally. And then they never make the artwork. It's just not a good feeling. So this allows me to stay loose, to get going. You know, it's not an accident that I'm able to do this and talk to you guys at the same time. This is how I spend the last 13 years. You know, teaching and drawing at the same time. But you know, there's things that I just did right now in here that may change totally by the time I start carving. You know, that's the way it is. I always think of the drawing as when you bring a camera into focus. You don't bring the camera into focus like one section at a time and then a section. It just kind of all comes together. So little by little, this all starts looking more like the design. You know, and then sometimes, you know, the white is the mark, and then sometimes like the white might be out of place, so I'll use the black to go back, you know, cover something up, and then sometimes the black's too much, so I got the white back in. So it's back and forth, push and pull. In that way, it kind of feels like sculpting with clay. You sculpt with clay, sometimes you're pushing something in, or like adding clay on, subtract, add. It's also just a lesson to chill and recognize that the artwork kind of has its own plan of how it's going to look, and you kind of like tap into that and not try to insist too much on what it's going to look like. Yeah, you have a general idea, and it's just more enjoyable that way. Every time I've made a piece that I thought, man, this is going to be the one that everybody loses their mind over, this is it, this is the one I'm going to bring it to the convention. I'm going to print 20 extra copies. I'm going to put it front and center. People are going to stampede their way to my booth to get this print. And then I have another print. I'm like, ugh, I shouldn't even bring this. It's embarrassing. No one's going to want this. And I set up at the convention, and the exact opposite response is what happens. And that's happened so many times that I no longer try to second guess too much. Just be a conduit to the design.
James Hobson says, white to go tight, black to go back.
I love that.
I really like that.
That's really good. Speaking of really good, Raph posted, or he said something. I forgot the context was. We're talking about taco roll, and then he called it taco roll. And I don't know why that made me laugh so much. Taco roll.
I like that.
That's so good. But yeah, man. it's just fun. It's just relaxing. And look, I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of stress involved, especially when I'm working. I'm gonna be honest with you, like when I'm working live with you guys, there's a little bit of stress that I'm like, oh, is this entertaining? Does anybody care? But at the same time, this is what I've done for 13 years. You know, I just know that this is how it gets done. But sometimes when I'm doing, and plus you guys are cool and we always talk and you're all involved in it. But sometimes when I'm doing a print like these Godzilla prints I did recently, right? Or the first big gig I got was doing was getting a Spider-Man print approved by Marvel to be released by Sideshow. Dude, that was terrifying because I mean, I was pretty happy with the piece. I was pretty confident in it, but I also felt like they're not going to really potentially understand the process. If they have an issue with it, there's not really a way to fix it. Are they going to dig it? Are they going to be like, I don't know, man. Just and then when you create a new thing from scratch, so like the Toho stuff for Godzilla and Mondo, there are a few projects that can make me as excited as working on a Godzilla print, you know? And at the same time, knowing that they have to get approved, and I submit a sketch and I'm like, oh, I hope this is cool enough. And I'm always thinking like they've probably already seen 20 other great sketches from amazing artists. You know, that first Godzilla show we did, the artists on that roster were in a cast of who's who of art, you know? Kent Williams, Paul Mann, Jason Edmiston, Oliver Barrett, Tom Whalen, you know? And I'm in my head, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta compete. I mean, not compete, like I was already given a roster, but kind of compete in the opinions of these people who are gonna approve this stuff. So when I'm working, I'm thinking about that stuff, I can get really distracted. Instead, I try to just think of white to go tight, black to go back. And stuff like that kind of helps to distract.
This Halloween music is helping to distract me too.
What do you guys think about that though? Because I feel like those lessons are easy to say, but in the reality is there's still a lot of anxiety and stress that goes in when you're working on stuff. And I wonder if you guys agree with that kind of mentality, or do you feel like that's something that you guys think about when you're working on stuff? Because it doesn't only apply to art, obviously. This applies to everything in life. Is like trying to like not get too worked up, not get too stressed out. Recognize that things are going to be okay, and that mentality usually helps you put out better work. You guys agree with that?
Colt wants to know how often you sharpen your tools.
Like the carving tools, I sharpen them a little bit before I work every time, but I don't know if that really does that much.
I feel like you almost never do it.
I do.
I know you do.
I do. It's just I don't feel like it works that well, and I wonder if it's just because I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to sharpening the tools.
Very likely.
Again, for 13 years, we had so many little carving tools in the classroom, and I would use them so much, and the kids would use them so much. It was just easier, faster, and cheaper to just swap them out, you know?
Some of the people in the chat really don't care, and they just want to know when you're going to be dropping your first pins.
Pins! I've dropped pins before.
Yeah.
But before Skybound.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe we can do some pins.
I really think we need them. That last chat that we did said pins as well.
Oh yeah, Garima, we need pins. They're telling us. We've gotta get
whoever's here from Skybound.
We gotta look into pins.
Mm-hmm.
We did some pins last year. I think there's some floating around. I think if you search Pencil Fighters, there's like a non-profit that helps bring art education to kids in schools. They did a collab with me and they put out my Skeletor design as a pin. And I think they still have it available, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody posted it recently in the group.
That looks good so far. It's getting there.
It's coming there. It's coming around. Getting there. Coming there. It's coming around. So, once I kind of got a rough I don't do too much more detail yet because there's no point. I still gotta check big things, and like at this point, I'm looking to see if things are kind of centered. Like this little crab guy, he's gonna be around here, right? I'm looking at what's this space, right? Like, is this gonna just be this? Sometimes I want to add things in here too. Like I tend to just like throw a little flower or something in there, to look like those old tattoo portraits. We didn't say for sure we want seaweed or an octopus tentacle.
I think it was both.
Yeah, but what do you guys? Should we go with both of the same or one and one?
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think?
Let's see what they say. What do you think about doing a monthly print club? Jan FITC said she or he, they would sign up for a monthly print club.
That sounds cool. What would that look like?
Like you sign up,
Mm-hmm.
monthly subscription,
Mm-hmm.
and you get a print every month for a flat fee.
It could be cool.
That would be cool.
I would just feel terrible if I missed a month. Can you imagine? I do like the idea though.
Colt says we need another gaming stream. And
Dude, I
agree.
was just thinking that, Colt. You read my mind, man.
Colt says, when's the next one? We need Gabby to play a scary game like Resident Evil 2. I agree.
Dude, we have it.
I know, and I never do it. Like, Peter always plays, and I just navigate on the iPhone.
But
because
make
I'm
sure
too
you explain
scared.
why. It's not like I'm not letting you play.
No. It's
Okay.
because I'm too scared. So
Okay.
I navigate because I'll play it just so you guys can see how I react. And then
How
I'll be like,
about-
yeah, don't ever let her play that.
How about VR? We have the VR headset.
Oh my god. We would have to set it
What
up
would
so
be?
you could
I
capture
meant to
my
ask
physical
this.
reaction.
Yeah, I meant to ask this today in the chat. What would you guys? When would be a good day? Because Thursdays we do this, but is there another day in the week that would be good for you guys if we did a gaming stream just for fun?
Yeah. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday? Friday would be crazy. What if we had a live stream Thursday and then another one on Friday?
Well, if it's gaming, it's cool.
Yeah, that's true. I agree.
At night. Yeah.
Definitely at night. Sebastian says seaweed and the tentacle wrapped up together would be cool for the frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna put a tentacle for sure. This is like me making notes. Like, remember to put a tentacle here. That's what that is.
Colt says weekends for the gaming stream.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That could be
potentially.
cool.
Yeah. Beck says Friday. Yeah, I agree that it should be like a Friday, Saturday thing.
Okay.
One or the other.
That could be fun.
We're already oldie and fogey
We play
enough
video
that we
games
don't
anyway
mind
on the
staying
weekends.
in on a Friday to do a stream. of
Especially
video games.
now.
Oh my god, especially now. Yeah, I agree that it should be end of the week situation.
I think we can definitely do it.
Yeah, right? It'd be fun.
We'll put up a poll somewhere. Gabby was talking about using Google Docs to make polls so that we can put them all over the place.
Yeah, I'm gonna make
And
it
so
happen.
we'll make one.
I promise. Maybe I'll
The other
make
thing
one.
is I wanted to ask is we're going to be doing some more screen prints soon. This is important business, chat. Pay attention to this. We're going to be doing more screen prints, and I have to ask this question because we need to figure it out. Do you guys think it would be better to have standard size paper on the screen prints that fit standard size frames, or would you rather have the torn paper edge like the last Takaro screen print? The reason I'm asking either or is because the torn paper edge does not come in a standard size for some reason, and the standard sizes don't come in torn paper edge. So I like them both. The quality of paper could be great across the board, but I wonder what you guys think. Do you prefer standard size to fit any frame, pre-made or not, or do you prefer the torn edge on the screen prints? I'm okay with either, but I'm curious what everybody says. So please let me know. Just write standard size or torn paper. Or deckled edge is the technical term, and you guys know that.
Heckles to deckles.
Heckles to deckles. All right. I think we can start carving some stuff here. I might put a few signature. Oh, you know, I can just put more tentacles.
ASU
down
Footy
here.
says torn edges. That's what floating frames are for.
I like that too.
Me too.
But I just want that if we do that, I want everybody to know that like
Everyone's on Torn right now.
Torn. Paul Shin, from Skybound. I know you're paying attention. They're speaking, and they're saying,
Colt says, "What about special releases with the Torn and standard for everything else?"
Special releases with a Torn and standard for everything else. Well, fine, but we'd have to like decide what's what. But I just want to make sure generally if we do a screen print, like if I did a screen print of these monster heads, 18 by 24, would you rather have that, or would you rather have the size like the Takara one, which is big but also slightly odd size?
A couple of other things. William Dawson says standard size is going to get more art on the wall. If it's torn, it needs to be smaller than 24 by 36. And Daniel Lester says, could we do smaller? So like closer to 18 by 24.
I think we could. Paul Shin, what was that other sizes?
He said, what up?
What up, Paul? Paul, throw up some sizes that if you have them handy that you were telling me earlier today, the smaller torn edge size. See what people think about that.
And also throw up some gang signs. No, I don't know. Beck McGrew says, I will always custom frame because torn looks best.
I get that. And I just, I just want to make sure, like, because if you custom frame, most of what you're custom framing doesn't have deckled edges, I assume. So I just want to know where everybody stands on that. I just want to make sure that if we're making a decision like that, that we've heard you guys and know what you have to say about it. All right, I'm going to start.
Sorry, Paul. I didn't actually mean gang signs. I just, when he says throw up them sizes, I'm like, and also some gang signs. We don't have any cool gang signs anymore. My students just do a weird, like, underhand, like their hand is broken in half or something. No, it's down. It's always down. Like their wrist is broken. It's weird. What happened to the good old days?
All right, I'm gonna start carving the big empty stuff. So I like this stage. I feel like that camera should not be me. The screen, like if you have privacy curtain, or you would be fine. Yeah, just so it's not like my belly for no reason. So now what I start doing is just getting some of the original edges off. It's like breaking the seal, so to speak.
Hold on, I'm gonna move myself back. There, it's me now. I'm gonna make myself super small. There we go. That's better.
I love this tool for anybody who does prints of any kind or carved prints. The company is called Fail with a P, P-F-E-I-L, and it's Swiss company, so it's a Swiss made, and this thing is amazing, and it's already getting dull, and it still cuts great, and it feels good in my hand. Love it. So if you're looking to try some carving tools, they're expensive though, I gotta be honest.
Okay, we've got some info from Paul.
Go ahead.
If we keep it heckles to deckles.
He wrote that?
No, I did.
Oh.
I inserted that. I paraphrased. It comes in two sizes, 19 by 12.5 and 25.5 by 38.
What do you guys think about those sizes for deckled paper?
Well, Evan says we should do a poll in the crew page, which I agree.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. And then there's a lot of Natalie Imbruglia references floating in the chat, which I appreciate. As a 90s kid, I appreciate that.
But why? Oh, because I'm already torn? Son of a bitch.
I was like, he's going to get there any second now. Because they're torn over whether they want torn edges, B.
I'm all free.
No, stop.
This is how I'm free.
Stop. Alarcon says hex to dex.
Hex to the dex, son.
No, just hex to dex.
H to the D. Hex to the dex.
ASU, those sizes again are 19 by 12.5 and 25.5 by 38.
So yeah, they're definitely meant to be floated, I assume, but those are not standard sizes.
Yeah,
So-
James Hobson says 38 inches causes issues.
Yeah, man, it's big.
They're
But
saying
what about
that
the smaller one?
those sizes, once you go to the store to pick up frames, they become a lot more limited.
Yeah,
That's something to consider.
for sure.
Mhm.
Well, that's why I'm asking. Do you guys? Because if I did the smaller size, which is what again be? 24 by 19.
¿Cómo? No. What? Say that
What
again?
was the smaller size? 12 by 19.
19 by 12.5.
So that's another odd size. It's definitely taller to have those edges. But again, if we don't go with that, we can get more standard sizes. But I just want to know that you guys would be okay if we went with standard sizes and it didn't have deckled edges. We'll put up a poll in the group, I
We
guess.
should. Not to go back to gang signs, but Miami in the
my
90s had so many gangs with cool signs. Now, what do we got? Nothing. That explains it. You're right. I know.
Who wrote that?
We're from Miami. We know what all the gang signs were. Irreverent
I
show.
don't.
That was Irreverent show.
I did. Oh, a Reverend Show. Yeah. What's up, dude? He does a podcast out here in Miami.
Is he also Miami?
Yeah.
That's why you know. You know what's up.
Let's
The
see.
305 is still my favorite. It's not a gang, but if you know 305, that sign is the best. I have many pictures of myself throwing up the 305.
Did anybody
sign.
pre-order a PS5 or an Xbox?
Oh my god, yes, please. Let us know if you went through the hell show that was trying to order a PS5. That was rough.
Yeah, that's what I should say. Did anybody try to order a PS5 or an Xbox?
Right.
I tried to order an Xbox, but I failed. But I think I was able. What's up?
One of my students is in the chat.
Who?
Matias, I don't want to talk to you. I just want to talk to your dog.
I want to talk to your parents, Matthias. It's past your bedtime.
Exactly. You have school tomorrow. Go to sleep. I'm an adult.
No, that's cool. You're
No,
welcome,
it's cool.
Matthias.
Matias, you're allowed to be in here. Okay, hold on. We've got some more information here. William Dawson says, even custom sized, after 24 by 36, the mat board gets a big upcharge for being oversized.
For sure.
Yeah. Big pay for
So what's the best size?
Oh, look. William Dawson got a PS5.
Oh, congrats, Will.
Daniel Lester got both.
Nice, dude.
What's up, Lester?
Man.
Let us know how much we have to pay you for the Xbox.
Are you a
No, I'm
bot?
joking. He might be a bot.
He is bot.
ASU footy tried unsuccessfully.
We got the PS5 supposedly, but I'm not gonna believe it until it's in my house.
We also got the bundle, which we paid a
Yeah,
lot
dude,
for.
that was crazy. But like, look, we wanted that stuff anyway. But yeah, it was nuts.
Daniel Lester says PS5 from Amazon was pretty easy, which
Yeah?
I disagree because I tried and it was impossible. What are you gonna do? Beck McGrew got both.
Nice, dude.
Good for you. Isn't it that the Xbox you can use Game Pass?
What do you mean? Of course.
I mean, like, what I'm trying to say is that you don't need an Xbox. You can get
You
the
don't
Game
need
Pass
an
Ultimate
Xbox,
and
but then you have to have a gaming PC of that
Okay.
caliber to get the technical benefits. But yeah, you can play on your Android phones now, apparently.
Right, that's cool.
Yeah, super cool. On your PC, obviously.
I would be down for that.
Yeah. I mean, we'll like, definitely try something.
Gotta follow Wario64 on Twitter. Why? Daniel Lester.
Sounds amazing
Wario64.
that he's on Twitter or is it just somebody tweeting as Wario? That sounds
Yeah,
awesome.
ASU Footy says, yeah, you don't need the discs anymore.
Yeah, we ended up getting the disc drive PS5 because,
'Cause
well,
Peter
first of all, we had no
watches-
choice, to be honest with you.
Well,
There
yeah.
wasn't an option. But I was aiming for it because I have a collection of Gamera and Godzilla Blu-rays that are not available digitally, yo. And so I have to have my
Mhm.
disc drive to be able to watch some of those.
And they're really good.
You don't mean that.
I do. I like them. I appreciate that you're taking me through the whole world. Maybe not by choice.
Man, on that show last night, I almost
Oh,
got...
here we go. Wario64 on Twitter drops all the links.
Oh.
I guess the links to like
Yeah.
videos, like where you can get the stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, good to know. I'm not on Twitter, but that's good.
Yeah, we'll get on there.
Game Pass works for Xbox and PC and phone.
Yeah.
So it's
But not iPhone, unfortunately, right?
Wow.
Like, you can't do it on an iOS yet.
I don't know. Can you, Beck? Can you do it on the iPhone too?
I don't think you can.
I doubt it, but that would be
it's like a big
awesome.
deal right now.
I don't know how they're going to make that happen, but they should.
What time is it?
8:30. 8:35.
We'll go for a little more.
Yeah.
And so what we're gonna do week to week is by next week I'll have this done and I'll print one live to start the show, and then we'll get into the next one, right? And we got to get all these handled and done before the end of the month of monsters.
Yes. How long do you think it'll take you to carve this one out?
This guy?
Yeah.
Well,
like by tomorrow when I get home from work, it's done? Or no?
maybe not that quickly, but
So a couple of days.
I would say 2 work days, and I can get it
2
done.
work days?
Yeah,
No,
like
it's not
2 8-hour work days.
No, it's not bad at all.
Yeah.
That's really fast, actually.
Well, due to recent events that I cannot discuss yet,
That's true.
I have no choice. I gotta get this
You
thing
gotta move.
done.
You gotta move.
Wait till you guys hear what is coming up,
Oh,
man.
it's gonna blow your minds.
So
Collectively
crazy.
blow your minds.
Yeah.
The chat will go silent.
I had a moment today where a bunch of stuff landed on my plate, and I was like kind of getting a little panicky. I'm like, oh, there's a lot, dude. I don't know if I can do it. And then, I calmed down. Came back to my center, and I realized, dude, look at where you are in life right now. That your biggest panic that you've had in the last, month is about getting to work on a dream project. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. So essentially, there
Yeah,
are multiple
calm
voices
down.
in my head.
Yeah, well,
And I'm like, yeah, you're right. And so I just, I let it sink in, and I can't wait to share it with you guys because it's soon.
I know, it's gonna be bonkers. Let's see what's going on in the chat.
October's going to be crazy, dude, with little announcements here and there.
Okay, Irreverent Show says Game Pass not available on iOS yet, and Beck says Apple won't let Xbox do that on their phones or on their service
the App
because
Store,
they
huh?
already have a service like that, which
Oh,
I'm
Apple
assuming you're talking about
Arcade.
Apple Arcade, yeah. Which makes sense.
Yeah.
And my student, who should be asleep, Matias, says, what VR do we have? We have
PSVR.
the PSVR. He says he also has PSVR, but he's
Yeah?
getting the Oculus Quest 2
I know. I'm
this
thinking he's getting
weekend.
it.
Yeah, he says he's getting it this weekend. Should we get it?
It already came out.
I don't know.
Matthias is already out.
Wake up. This is
I
part of your
saw the
homework
ads.
now.
I saw the ads.
Matthias is going to have to write me in a whole essay.
Here's the
about
question,
Oculus
Matthias.
Quest.
Is he still there?
I don't know.
Matthias, if you're still there, this is the question. Is Oculus Quest capable of running the recent Half-Life game that came out? Because that might be a thing. that
Very
we have to
important
do.
question. Let's go, Matthias. Do the research. Let's go. Otherwise, I'm
Honestly,
feeling
anybody in the
like-
chat wants to answer that. That'd be awesome.
That's true. But I just want to hang it over his head. Matthias also has the cutest dog who usually goes on Zoom for him to answer all of my questions during class. I feel like that's an important fact to put out there.
His dog's gonna graduate.
His dog is going to graduate. I already told him. I'm like, I don't need you to answer questions anymore. Just put the dog on. Lester says Apple just wants to review the code for each game, which is absurd. It's not about the 30% commission on all the
Interesting.
sales. So that's an interesting little tidbit there. You're flying through that thing, huh?
Well, again, this stuff's easy because this is like the big empty space, you know?
Right.
This is how you get some momentum. But it's, the time it takes me to do a big area of empty space might be equivalent to the time it takes me to do one eye. So it's like, that's how we get into that.
Okay, Oculus Quest update.
Tell me.
It's available to order, but it is shipping out on the 13th of October.
Okay.
So mid-October release in
Yeah.
terms of like having it in hand.
But does it run Half-Life Alyx, I think it's
I don't know.
called?
Still waiting for an answer. Hello. I don't know. But that's really cool. I haven't played Half-Life in forever.
There hasn't been a Half-Life in forever.
I know.
That's the
what I'm
whole
saying.
big hype.
I know.
Very excited.
I wonder if that one would scare me in VR.
No. Oh, because VR, yeah. I mean...
Yeah. I got scared by the Batman VR
Yeah.
game, and that was nothing.
But it was stressful.
I'm just very easily frightened.
It was stressful.
It's very stressful. If you buy a cable called the Oculus Link, you can connect the Quest to your PC and play any Steam VR games on it. So yes, Half-Life Alyx is playable on the Quest.
But with a PC, which I don't have.
Which we don't have because we're not PC Master Race here. Although maybe we need to return to that life.
It's a lot going on.
It's a lot.
We haven't even played Vader Immortal on PSVR yet.
Oh my god, that's the one. That's the one I want to play. We're gonna need to do a video game stream pretty soon. I was just rewatching our Goose Game the other night, and it was very
fun. Have you guys,
pleasant.
anybody in the chat, seen or played Vader Immortal? Maybe we can do that.
Oh yeah, that would be cool too. Sebastian, we're running this stream on a Mac because obviously
That's what we have.
that's what we have. We don't have any PCs in this house.
Well,
Well, I have my PC from work, but it's a laptop. It's not doing anything other than running like a word processor. Look at that.
So just a reminder, because we'll be wrapping up soon.
Yeah.
We crossed 25,000 followers on Instagram. So nuts. And I'm so thankful to all of you guys who've been supporting and hanging out in the chat and coming here week to week and watching this stuff progress. Luckily, we were able to put up a link in the description of the video that's 25% off anything in the shop. So if you want to grab shirts or hats and stickers, we put out a tote bag today and lots of different designs. The Takaro shirts are still up there if you didn't get one. Got the Warhogs. Everything's 25% off for the next 24 hours. So make sure if you're interested or we're thinking about getting something, you might as well get it in the next 24 hours and get 25% off the purchase. And if you spend more than $65, I think it's free shipping. So we're doing that.
Darren Starr.
Yeah. What's up,
Has
Darren?
a question.
Tell me.
He says, Isabel wants to know
Isabel's his daughter.
how many live shows have we done? Because
Man.
she wants to do an Attack Peter marathon, like
Oh,
they
my
do
goodness.
with Scooby-Doo. And then she said, follow-up, you should do some Scooby-Doo villains.
I love Scooby-Doo.
Love
And I
that.
love the villains.
He says now he has to explain licenses to her. Just, yeah, I get that. That's a little difficult.
It'll be fun at some point.
Jason, I think the link is down below in the description bar for the merch. And I believe...
The discount code is AP25K.
Yes.
I think it's in the description, yeah?
It should be.
Um,
I'm trying to see if I can see it.
well, you know what's funny, Darren and Isabel, that licensing is an issue. So if you want to make artwork at a scale and a platform that I currently have, you have to be careful with that because, you know, somebody else owns Scooby-Doo, right? And then if I make some Scooby-Doo artwork and I try to sell it or whatever it is, then I can get in trouble, obviously, for that. And but interesting that you point that out or you bring that up, because part of what we're doing for Month of Monsters is kind of like paying tribute to monsters that have existed forever, like the Universal monsters, but doing them in a way that makes it original, makes it our own, and doesn't look like those original monsters. So you can kind of like do an interpretation, a stylization, and that's why we spent that time earlier in the chat talking about what should we do with this design, what should we add, what should we keep, and then you get some cool new designs out of it. And that's why it's like we were saying, vampires, not Dracula, or werewolves, not the Wolfman. In this case, a fishman, not the creature from the Black Lagoon. Gillman, sometimes I've heard it referred to.
Yeah, some people said in the chat too.
What do they say? Gillman?
That has been Gillman before. They know it as Gillman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got to meet Riku Browning. He was the actor who played the creature in that film underwater, because there were two different actors. I think he was the one underwater. I might have it backwards. There were two different actors. One played him underwater, and one played him on land. And Riku Browning is the one that I met various times, because he would always do conventions in Florida. And that was cool to think that he was in the creature suit, man. Then there's a sequel to that movie, The Creature Walks Among Us, which I actually really love that design. It's kind of dorky. The gills are so small, it just looks like a dude with an unfortunate face. But it's really fun.
Do you ever go from like carving out those big sections to carving out details and like back?
Yeah,
forth,
just like switching it up. Yeah. I do. And then like I'm looking at this and I'm saying like I gotta make sure I nail the outside so it has that symmetrical vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to use a ruler to make sure that that looks just right.
Do you make it symmetrical because you want to emulate flash art, or are you not at all concerned because organic creatures are not symmetrical by nature? What is
Well, the idea when I'm making some of these pieces is that I don't always use symmetry, but I do use symmetry, and when I do, I'm thinking like, what if this is someone's like only Gillman piece? And that's not to say that symmetry is the best, and if you're going to have one thing, it has to be symmetrical. It's just that, to me, it feels iconic. It's like designing a logo or a symbol or something. And I don't know if that's everyone's taste, but it's how my mind works. If you can only get one, right? And, but it is also inspired not only by tattoo art, but like art from Thailand and masks in general. Yeah, it's like a design, but like for example, if I was doing a sequence of images using the same character, then obviously I would do different poses and stances. But like in my mind, I'm like, what if, you know, if I'm only gonna do one piece featuring this character? So I'm doing just what you were saying.
Yeah.
Switching to the detail now. If I only have to do one piece featuring this character, you know, do I want a side view, 3/4 turn? I don't know. There's not a wrong answer, honestly. It's just that it also has to do with the medium and of printmaking, like contrast and patterning works so well, and patterning really works well when you have some type of symmetry involved.
Yeah.
Again, these are just things that can work, not the only way to do things.
Beck McGrew says, "Don't forget the scar."
No, oh yeah, let me sketch that in right now, Beck. It's a good call. Good call. See, I didn't really have it sketched out.
I mean, you have it in the sketch.
I had it in my
you just didn't
sketch,
have
but
it on the line of it, yeah.
I could have easily just gone to work on the eyebrow and forgotten. Which happened on the Takaro versus Shiga. I forgot to include the wrist-mounted cannons that we put in the
Oh, that's right.
design. I just forgot. And I got called out on the Drop Mag podcast.
No.
He's such a good interviewer. He was so detailed. He noticed so many things. I thought it was a lot of fun. A really good show. If you guys haven't checked it out, I posted it posted it everywhere. But Drop Mag. I'll look it up. I think it's the Dropcast. I think it's the Dropcast, but I think the channel's called Drop Mag on YouTube. That's confusing enough. All right. What?
Oh, Mari says, Santa Maria's golden rule: never rush your prints. Let your head think. And look at him pulling out a whole monster in 3 hours flawlessly.
Hardly flawlessly. There's always something that can go wrong. But you know that is part of the mentality. Is like you got to keep putting in reps. You know what I mean? Reps, especially when you're starting out, reps are more important than one perfect image. It's never going to happen. You're never going to feel like it's perfect. And if you do, as soon as you put it out, someone's going to say, oh, you forgot to do this, or how come you didn't do that, right? So you're never going to really feel accomplished by one piece. It's better to get reps in. Do more, do more. And,
Colt says, by the way, about the rockets, he says, maybe Takaro ripped the rockets off. What does that guy know? Thank you, Colt, for backing him up.
No. He was actually so cool. I said, oh, it's like his sunglasses. He didn't use them that day, but he has them at home. He's like, oh, that's good. That's a good idea.
Yeah, why not?
But he was genuinely interested,
Yeah.
to be fair. I think you guys would really dig that show because he really gets into some cool art and breaks it down, and he really cares about the poster art world, man. I really like it. Super nice guy. Tom Dizzy. All the way from Germany. I think he said Berlin, but now I don't remember for sure.
Germany?
Yeah, he's in Germany. And Germany was a great time talking to him. I went to Thailand years ago, and a lot of the artwork had these scales on them. And when I came back, I have to put these scales on everything. They're just so cool. And they don't really fit sensibly on things, but I just like how they look. And when I designed that Ninja Turtle Raphael print way back, I've covered him with those scales. And it was just so funny to know that this is something I saw happenstance, and then ended up being part of like all the design work I've done. And on the Ninja Turtles, and I think that really stood out, and people liked it because it was something different. And it just goes to show you, if you're designing stuff, pull ideas from left field. Like, if you love monster art, don't only look at monster art, or else you'll just end up making stuff that looks like everything else. Even if it's really good, you won't stand out. But if you love monster art and comic art, study anything that you can see that's different, because then your style will be influenced by stuff that no one else's is. And look at these little scales. And I keep using them, by the way, because I want to make sure that if anybody else starts using them, someone goes, that looks like a Tack Peter. So I'm claiming my little stuff. Same thing with these asterisks. I definitely didn't invent an asterisk, but I only ever saw it in tattoo artwork, and it doesn't really exist outside of that. Not often. I haven't seen much of it. So I started incorporating that. And it's like this collection of this thing from tattoo, this thing from Thai artwork, expressions from masks, or all that kind of stuff comes together to make an original style. In the same way that if we all had different fruits and made a smoothie, we'd have different flavors because of how much of one fruit or the other we put in. Mm-hmm. All right, well, I think we're going to wrap it up, because I have so much more work to do, and we got to get to bed and have a whole new day. But I'm going to be posting progress pics of this in the Facebook group. If you guys haven't joined, head to Facebook groups and look for the Attack Peter Print Crew. It's so much fun. There's a lot of stuff going on there. People are always buying, selling, trading my older stuff that you can't get easily anymore. But we're also like building a fun community of people who know each other and talk all the time. Next week, we're going to be dropping a print, I believe, of this creature is the plan. I'm not sure yet the details, but I'll let you know. And in addition to that, I wanted just to say, remember to click like on this video if you haven't, please. We had so many people in the chat. Just make sure to click like on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. This channel is growing fast. It's crazy. And what else did I want to say? Oh, and make sure you use a 25% off coupon if you're thinking about picking stuff up from the shop. The link's in the description. The discount code is AP25K, like Attack Peter 25K. And you get 25% off to celebrate that we crossed 25,000 followers on Instagram, which is crazy, I said.
AP25K is the code?
AP25K, I believe. Yeah, I don't think the caps or anything that matters. But that's it. Month of Monsters is underway. We got so much more cool and fun stuff to do. Make sure to share this channel with people that you think would enjoy hanging with us, making some artwork. I think that's it. And then let's talk about video game streaming in the group, Colt and Will. Let's talk about it. All right, guys. I love you. Thank you so much. Attack Peter on Instagram, Twitter. I don't know what else. Just thank you. You guys are amazing. Gabby, had fun?
This was great.
We had fun. Music was awesome.
Music was great.
I like your corner.
Halloween shrine is great. Oh my god, wait, before we
Oh,
leave.
guys, watch. This is how we should go out.
Ready?
I love Target.
This is at Target, guys. Don't sleep on it.
Don't sleep on this drop.
Don't sleep on this hot Halloween drop. Look at that. Pumpkin is great. These guys are great. They sing.
Awesome.
They're amazing.
All right, gang. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys in the stream, Facebook group,
On
the
the stream?
socials, the stream. I'm never leaving the stream. I live here now. I love you. Thank you so much. Check you guys out soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye. We're frozen here.